Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of AT Fins News. Today, we're going to be previewing the Miami Dolphins' upcoming Monday Night Football game against the New Orleans Saints. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it, shall we? The first thing I want to say before we get into the matchup and who's out and who's questionable, I just want to say Merry Christmas to all you guys. Thanks all you guys for supporting the channel, viewing it. I know we got some views up in the last couple of days, so I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday, and just cherish the memories with your family and friends on this great day. We're having a little get together later on today, so I just first hope that you guys just all have a blessed day. Um, just eat some good food, be around some good company, and you guys just all have a great day. So let's just get into it right off the bat. The Saints have been hit hard with COVID. I mean, the whole NFL has been hit hard with COVID, but the Saints this week, if you just look down the list, I mean, they got a lot of big names that are huge players on defense and offense that are have been placed on the COVID list. If you just look there, one of their offensive tackles, Jordan Mills, he's out with COVID. Christian Ringo, he's a defensive tackle. He's been placed on the COVID list. Malcolm Jenkins, their best safety, he's on the COVID list, likely out for the game. And then you got their quarterback situation. They got, everyone knows Winston's been hurt since the beginning of the year, but their second string quarterback, Taysom Hill, he's out due to COVID protocols. And then their third string quarterback, Trevor Simeon, he's out now with COVID as well. So the Saints, as of right now, because if they get two negative tests in 2 consecutive days before Monday, because today is Friday, then they will be eligible to play. But as of right now, the Saints are going into a Monday Night Football game with Ian Book. He's a rookie quarterback. He played for Notre Dame last year. If you just go back and watch some of his film, he's not that decisive with the ball. He holds on to the ball a long time, so that should bode well for our defense. We should be able to get after him with ease and confuse them with coverages and be able to sack him all day. He does have some athletic ability, so you have to be worried about that. He can't escape the pocket. A lot of times at Notre Dame, when his first or second read wasn't there, he'll just take off and run with it. So we got to be disciplined on our rush lanes as far as our defensive line goes, just so he can't escape the pocket easy and run for an 8 yard to 10 yard gain to give him the first down. So we got to be conscious of that. But even if Taysom Hill does come back, he doesn't really worry me as far as a quarterback goes. He's pretty much like a runner. He's like Lamar Jackson, but Lamar even throws the ball better than Taysom Hill. So I wasn't really worried about Taysom Hill too much. But as of right now, at least he's out. But what's really gonna hurt them is their two tackles. They're questionable for the game, and that's Ryan Ramczyk and Terrion Armstead. They're both questionable. If they both can't play, that's going to really bode well for this defense. I mean, I feel like we already have an advantage on the defensive end against the Saints offense. They're not ranked real high this year, and it's due to all the quarterback turnaround they've had since last year, even with Drew Brees being retired now. And then they started with Jameis Winston, and it seemed like uh, they were going to be back on track. But when he got hurt, it's been kind of a merry-go-round back there with either injuries or quarterback like Trevor Simeon. He took over for Taysom Hill when he messed up his finger. Now Taysom Hill was back with his finger in a splint, and now they're both out with COVID. So it's just been like a merry-go-round with the Saints quarterback position. Um, that's probably why they have such an inconsistent offense as far as ranking goes, and it didn't help when Kamara was hurt for those couple weeks. I think he was out for 3 weeks. So I mean, he's the focal point of the offense. So when he went out, their numbers dropped drastically. Um, but I mean, as far as the Dolphins go, the COVID's still going through their organization. They just placed Justin Coleman, our slot corner. He's on COVID again now. We placed Duke Riley, which has been coming in for linebacker, but they kind of lessened his workload, and he's pretty much like a special teamer. He's on COVID now. So we got a couple guys there on COVID. The good news for the Dolphins is Javon Holland finally came back to practice yesterday on Thursday. So he looks like he's on track to start Monday, which we really need him for Monday so he can be that center field of our defense because he's been coming on strong lately. So that's always good to see. We also got Jalen Waddle back. He's playing on Monday night, which is going to be huge for us. We need a guy that can separate from the defense, and there's no one that can do it much better than him, even though he's a rookie. He's been outstanding this year, so I'm looking for big things for Waddle. But another big piece for the Saints as far as injuries go, and they're hoping he can play, but he hasn't practiced, is Davenport. It's Marcus Davenport. He's a defensive lineman for the Saints, and he's really good at stopping the run. So if he's out, and their two tackles are out, I mean, as long as the Dolphins go in there and do not overlook the Saints just because of all the people on COVID and then their injuries, I don't see any way the Dolphins don't win this game unless they take them lightly and Tua has an off game like he did against the Jets and the Saints just sneak up on them and beat them. But if we come in there focused, like I know Brian Flores will have this team, and they play winning football, they should come out on top with these, especially with all these injuries and players out for the Saints. But as far as my 5 keys to victory goes, number 1 is our defense has to show zero blitz the majority of the game now that Javon Holland's back. Especially even if they don't have to start Ian Book and they get to start Taysom Hill, still 70% of the defense should be blitzing, zero blitz packages. Taysom Hill and Ian Book, they're not going to be able to dissect the coverage in 1.5-2 seconds. Their first instinct's going to be run the ball when they see that pressure, and that's when they get into trouble. They start running around, and we compile those sacks like we did last week to Zach Wilson. So we have to run zero blitz, and last week we didn't even run that much blitz packages because Javon Holland was out. Now we're getting Javon Holland back. We just got to get after whatever quarterback's out there. I mean, both of them aren't pure passers. They're more athletes, so they're not going to be able to pick a guy out because we're doing a zero blitz and eating our defense up. We have to consistently blitz any quarterback that they have on the field, kind of like a Lamar Jackson game plan like we did with the Ravens a few weeks ago, in order to contain that running ability and not let the lanes open up for that quarterback to get easy runs off. So I'm expecting a lot of zero blitz this week, especially with Javon Holland back, and that's going to bode well for our defense and this team in general. The number 2 key to victory is we have to stop Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is one of the premier backs in this league. He's so dynamic. He can break tackles. He's fast enough to get to the boundary and just take it to the house on any given play. He can catch the ball to the backfield. I mean, shoot, especially if Ian Book or Taysom Hill's in there, they like to check down to Alvin Kamara. He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield. So I don't know who we're going to have guarding him out of the backfield. If it's Jerome Baker, man, I hope you come ready to play on Monday night, because if not, Alvin Kamara has the ability to embarrass you on that field. So we're going to have to contain Alvin Kamara at all costs. I don't care if we're going to have to run blitz to stop him. He has to be stopped, because the worst thing that can happen to this team is we get down early against the Saints because of Alvin Kamara, and then the Saints defense just can unload on Tua, and that won't bode well for the Dolphins, because not a lot of people talk about it, but the Saints defense is for reals, man. I mean, so they held Tom Brady, the best offense in the league, before all their injuries that just happened, to 0 points. It was 9-0 shutout. So that defense can get after him, man. So the worst thing that can happen is we don't stop Alvin Kamara and he goes off early and they get a 7 or 10-0 lead, and then that defense can just pin their ears back. The number 3 key to victory for me is Tua is going to have to beat man coverage. The Saints primarily run a man coverage scheme on their defense, they can organically rush the passer with just sending four and putting everyone else in coverage man to man and locking it up. They can organically stop the rush with just four. They don't have to do no run blitzing. Like I said, I don't care if the Dolphins have to do to stop Kamara. They just get after it with their front line, and our line's gonna have to play well. I mean, I know they've consistently been getting better and better over the weeks, but this is the big test for the Dolphins' offensive line. Let's see how they can handle the Saints boys up front. I mean, Cam and Jordan, even though they're not going to have maybe Davenport on the other side, but Cameron Jordan's a game wrecker, man. So we're going to have to, and he's going to be all over Jesse Davis most of the game. So I'm just hoping that Jesse Davis can have a decent day. Our line protects Tua. Tua's going to have to find a guy that he likes, a matchup. He's going to have to be deadly accurate, man, and win those battles when it's man to man. And if we all know, Tua's great. Like, he's a great RPO passer. He's great. He can tear up any zone they give him. He's great at that. But he's struggled when teams get in their receivers face man to man coverage, just like the Bills have done for 4 straight games against the Dolphins, or 3. He struggles with man to man coverage. So this is the game for everyone, for all the Dolphin fans waiting to see a game to see if Tua is really that guy right now. It's going to be this game. This is going to be our toughest game because of how the defense is set up. They're a team that can shut down the RPO the entire game. So in order for the Dolphins to win, Tua is going to have to beat man-to-man coverage, and the coaches are going to have to not be running RPOs 80% of the time. We're going to have to get away from the RPO, maybe run it 20% of the time, and the other 80% is going to have to be pro-style offense. So that's what I'm most excited about on watching our offense. Is I know Tua's looked so good these last 6 weeks. Well, last week it was probably one of his worst games of the year, if not the worst. But other than that, we've seen Tua. Everyone's saying he's progressed. He's looking a lot better. But this is going to be the game whenever they're going to play man-to-man, bump and run, and come after the Tua and see if he's made that leap like everyone thinks he has the last 6 games. So we'll see. That's what I'm so excited about. I'm not saying he can't do it, but if Tua goes into New Orleans when they're playing man-to-man coverage and he can shred that defense, or not even shred them, give me 250 to 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, I'll take that, man. I mean, it's all improvements, and if I see that, you'll get to see, or a lot of people in our fan base will get to say with confidence that that's our future, that's our franchise quarterback, if he can come out with a performance like that against a man-to-man coverage scheme. So that's what I actually can't wait to see that. That's one of the most exciting things for me to watch on Monday Night Football, is that aspect of Tua can beat man-to-man coverage. Because if he can do that, the sky's the limit for that, man. I mean, if he does that, that means we can take Buffalo next year, because that's what they do to Tua right now, because they know he struggles with it. So let's see that progression from him, and that's what I can't wait to see. And the fourth thing, the key to victory for the Miami Dolphins, we have to run the ball again. I know Duke Johnson had a great game last game. He surpassed the 100-yard mark. First Dolphin running back this year to do it. First Dolphin running back since last year against the Patriots. I believe it was Ahmed. He had a great performance. I'm not saying Duke Johnson is going to get 100 yards this game. I would love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I think Duke Johnson adds a running style that we haven't seen with Myles Gaskin and Ahmed this year, but all I'm asking is for Duke Johnson to have 75 to 85 yards, and then Myles Gaskin or Philip Lindsay pitching another 40 to 50. That's respectable run game right there, and we need our run game to show up this week, because, like I said, how the Saints have their defensive scheme. It is a perfect, or a matchup nightmare for the Dolphins. Their defense can stop the RPO perfectly. So we need our running backs to be able to show up. We need them to be able to hit those holes hard, get 3 to 4 yards a carry. and then be able to break that 8 or 9 yards because of the 4 yard consistent runs. We're gonna have a lot of consistency with the running game because it's gonna just help Tua. I mean, we everyone always says, and quarterbacks even say they love to have a run game because it opens up what the play action, and the play action just there's you can have people running down the seams of the defense, or you can have people running crossing routes and they're wide open because those linebackers have to move forward to respect that run game. So it just opens up a whole bunch of lanes for Tua if we can have a consistent run game. It'll give that line confidence that they can handle a really good front seven, and it'll just help that line move to next week and the week after because we're going to have to be consistent the next 3 weeks. It's a gauntlet we're going through to try to make these playoffs at the end of the year, but we'll take where we are right now instead of how we started 1-7. It's always good to see meaningful football in December, so I'm excited about that. But yes, we definitely need a consistent run game, which I have all the confidence in the world. Maybe Duke Johnson and Lindsey can provide, and then Gaskin comes in as a third down back or give him like 5-6 carries to see what he can do. But I have all the confidence that those three can give us 130 yards collectively. I don't see why not. But I'm just hoping they can. And I don't have any. Like, I feel the coaching staff the last 4 weeks, they've been consistently trying to run the ball. Even if we're not successful at it, they stuck to it. And you got to appreciate that. I mean, they've been running the ball like 30 times, sometimes a game. So that's encouraging stuff, man. You have to have some semblance of a running game in order for the offense to be successful. So, I mean, let's just stick to it and see how many yards this rushing attack can achieve against this vaunted Saints defense. The fifth key to victory for the Dolphins this week is no stupid penalties. We don't need any penalties to bring a touchdown back, especially how close this game's going to be with both defenses balling out right now. They're both playing extremely well. We can't have any dumb penalties on offense or defense. Offense, we can't have a touchdown and gets called back for holding, then we end up kicking a field goal, not the touchdown, because points are going to be at a premium. Or we're in field goal range and we get a holding call, pushes out of field goal range, we have to punt. We're going to have to take points when they're given to us. It's going to be, I believe, a low-scoring game. Two defenses are going to be balling. It's going to be whichever offense makes a mistake is probably going to lose this game. So Tua's going to have to be tight with the football. We can't have any turnovers. He's going to have to play a lot better than he did against the Jets. And if we do all that, I don't see why we shouldn't win this game. Like I said, with the players they have out, they don't have a healthy roster. They are beatable, guys. I know they just shut out the Bucs, so everyone's saying, "Oh man, look at the Saints. They're the real deal." They did get blown out by the Bills. They lost to the Panthers. They've lost to the Falcons. They're a beatable team, guys. They're 7-7, just like the Dolphins are. They've played. They're really inconsistent. I mean, they have a great defense. Don't get me wrong, but they've gave up 30, 35 points to teams that aren't that good, like the Panthers and the Falcons. So it's not like we can't put up points. I know it's going to be tough, especially right now. They're in the playoff chase. They're actually in the playoffs right now if the season ended today. So they're fighting for something. It's not like their season's over. So I expect it to be a really close game, but we have to not have these dumb penalties like we do, or we get off the field on defense and we get a pass interference or a holding call and they get an automatic first down and they end up getting points out of it. It's going to be points at a premium, so let's not just make dumb mistakes. Play complementary football, and the Dolphins should come out on top. So my prediction of the score this week, I'm going to say it's going to be low scoring, like I said. I think the Dolphins put up 17 and the Saints put up 9, 3 field goals. I think our defense shuts them down if it's Ian Book or Taysom Hill or even Trevor Siemian. I don't see how they put up enough points to beat us. The Dolphins put up 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and they win 17-9. They keep their streak going to 7 in a row, and then we start looking forward to the Titans game next week. But other than that, guys, like I said to start the stream, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope you guys have a great day with your friends and family. Cherish these moments. And I'll be back on. I'll be back Tuesday to for the reaction of the Monday Night Football game on primetime. So look out for that video on Tuesday on that. But like I said again, Merry Christmas, you guys. Happy holidays. Have a blast this weekend and enjoy some football with some friends and family. Cherish the moments and fins up, guys. Like always, I love all you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so we can grow this channel organically and eventually have like a live chat going so we can all communicate with each other. Okay. All right, guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I'm out. Fins up. Peace.